Okay, so now we're going to go more deeply into this region. So we're going to double click on the region itself up here, and we get the audio editor window. Let's just pull that up, and right here we can see I'm just scrolling with my mouse. You can do it, just do it here, because sometimes in the display you'll see the waveform, but then you don't see the actual flex pitch notes. So I'm just going to scroll them so that they're bang in the middle. I'm going to switch off my inspector again with letter I on the keyboard, and what we've got over here is what's called the local inspector. Now there are key commands for this, which I've talked about in previous videos, but you can hide that under the view menu option. You can show or hide the local inspector. When you're working in flex pitch, it really helps having this on. Okay, so I'd always advise keeping this switched on or visible. Also, you've got a keyboard here with all of your notes, and corresponding to this are all of the note lanes. So as you can see right here, let's say C4, that is this light gray lane, and C#4 would be this darker lane running along here. So you will notice as well that we are not in file mode, or we haven't got the file option selected. We are under track mode, okay, and that's where we're going to be able to do our flex pitch edits. This has to be illuminated as well or switched on, okay, and flex pitch selected in here, which was done globally anyway. Okay, so let's zoom in a touch, and okay, so as I demonstrated in my previous video, for those of you who haven't seen that, here's a link just below. I'm going to be dealing with this stuff in more depth right now. Now these boxes, let's call them note boxes, okay? And these note boxes are representations of the notes or pitches that were sung by the vocalist. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm just going to play this back.
Woke up this morning about 7:45.
Okay, let's move that out of the way. Maybe move it up here, pitch it up there, and have a quick listen.
Woke up this morning about 7:45.
There you go. So that's, I mean, of course we're not going to keep that, but it's just to show you what the boxes represent, okay? Now if we were to control click on that, we can set to original pitch. Okay, which this is a really good function actually, because sometimes you might have messed something up and forgotten where the original note was placed, and that function will just take you back to your starting position. So this note right here, if I was to, as I click on it, you can hear it sound, and it tells me, Logic tells me as well, that it's a D#3 note. Also, we've got these handles around the edges, okay, and they tell us quite a bit of information as well. And it tells me, this one tells me that in terms of pitch is bang on, it's exactly on D#3, okay. If I was to come here, let's start with the fine pitch. I can use this fine pitch tuning to tune up or down, okay. We've also got the other coarse tuning option, which is but to grab the actual note and dragging it to whichever note position you want to take it to, okay. Right. Okay, so let's deal with some of these functions over here in the local inspector. Now we've got this pitch correction function right here, and it's the same as this fine pitch tuning option right here. However, what's great about this is, let's say for example we wanted to tune all of these notes by a certain amount. Let's do that again. There we go. I can actually use this and tune them all up and just adjust the amount of correction. Logic has analyzed this note, and it has calculated that it's about 15 cents sharp of the note G3. Okay, so this is a G, that's your G right here, and it's G3. Okay, let's take this one as well. Click on that, if I was to hover over this, this one is 49 cents sharp of, what note is it? F3. And this one here is another F3. And let's hover over this, and we're saying the analysis has come back as -9 cents. Okay, now if we were to then select all of these, and we were to use this pitch correction slider, what will happen is Logic will adjust all of the notes relative to the amount of deviation they have from the perfect pitch. So if I was to put it to 100%, all of these notes will now be on exactly the pitch that they've been analyzed to. However, if I pulled it back to about 50%, they won't be exactly on point. This one was, if I remember rightly, this one was 49 cents. This one was, I forget now, but as you adjust this up, it brings them closer and closer to perfect pitch. Okay, so let's see this one. This is my -16. If I was to turn it off, let's see how much was, yeah, so that was -33 before. This was this was 15. And this was 49. Let's do it one more time. 50%. And yep, it's dragged them sort of halfway from where they were to where they are now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to select all, which is Command A, and Control click and let's set to original pitch first of all. These ones up here at the front that we recently adjusted have now gone back to their original position, and now we're going to try this again. Control click and set to perfect pitch. Now all of the notes are going to be adjusted to their perfect pitch position according to Logic's analysis. Now this will take a few seconds, and now here we're done, and let's have a quick listen, see how it sounds.
Woke up this morning about 7:45. But like I wanna kick myself 'cause I'm gonna be late. My boss ain't an easy man, what can I say? I don't wanna do this no more.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, so let's have a look out here in the main window. And as you can see, now that we've set all of the notes to perfect pitch, you can see all of the adjustment lines have been pulled down to the middle or center line, which indicates that it's all perfect pitch. Another thing you can do, let's set this all back to original pitch. So Control click, in fact select all and Control click, set to original pitch. Right, okay. The other thing that you might notice is, can you see this right here? Let's zoom in a bit. Now you can see the box. This box here is completely green. Okay, and look at the pitch. It's a deviation of 3 cents, which is a very, very minor amount of deviation from the perfect pitch. Whereas this one, you can see it's got quite a bit of green in it, but then you've got that blank bit up top at the top of the box. Let's zoom in a touch, so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see this here, you can see this one, and you can see that some notes have got that sort of blank space in the boxes, whereas others don't. This one has no blank space, that's perfect pitch. So what that is a quick indicator as to how much deviation from perfect pitch this particular note has. And also notice that the sort of blank space within the box is at the top of the box on this one, whereas down here the blank space is at the bottom. So if I was to hover over this, you can see this is -46. So that's -46 cents, which means it's quite flat. Whereas this one is a bit sharp. This one is a bit sharp too, and this one is a bit flat. Okay. So again, that's a great little indicator as to the position of your note in terms of its tuning compared to perfect pitch.